Well, we're live after all that. What a mess that was. Well, I don't know if you can find me, but 35 minutes messing around with that, trying to get in. So I don't know if you can actually find this, whether it comes back up. I'll give you 5 minutes to come in, everybody, if anybody's around. If not, I apologize for tonight's live feed. For some reason, the screen didn't work and it wouldn't let me sign out. So as we've got two people in the house, it doesn't say I've got any live chats on here at the moment. Simon's Spruce, evening everybody. Simon's in the house. So we'll have to just give it a couple of seconds because, like I said, was having real problems. For some reason, it wouldn't let it go live. It wouldn't show a picture. So we seem to be working now. So we'll just give people 5 minutes to come in. What an evening! Been out for a meal with the darling wife. Got home, plenty of time to set it up, and what happens? It crashed. So I'm just while I'm looking at the moment, I'm just looking to see if the other one is still running in the background. It shouldn't be, hopefully. So we'll just give everyone a couple of seconds to come in and see what's going on. Yeah, it looks like I've actually overrode it for some reason. Why it wasn't working, I do not know. I do not know. So good evening, Simon Spruce, Tracy Dodds, Denver Skinner, Christabel, Martin Lawrence, Simon Spruce. I actually saw your comments, but there was no picture for some reason. No, it wasn't showing a picture for me this end, and obviously it wasn't showing a picture for you that end. So my apologies for that. Right, back on track. 2 minutes in. What have I got to say? Well, not a lot really. What do you want to talk about? Dog training? What would you like to talk about tonight? What about the Prime Minister situation then? Not on, is it? Not on. So it looks like I'm on my own this evening. She's running around in the background somewhere. Sure. So he'd unplug me. He wouldn't know how to find the plug. That bloke. That's the problem. So, like I said, there's only 14 people in here. I bet you were all bored silly, weren't you? On the plot, evening, Chris. Watching you loud and clear. Well done, Russ. It's too hot for training, isn't it? It's as simple as that. Dog training is too hot unless you can take them for a swim, and that's about it, isn't it? When you think about it, it's just been too hot this week. It's cooked my brain, cooked the dog's brain, and so you're wasting your time taking them out in this weather. I've got two youngsters that are slightly stir crazy. Hello, Adam. Sorry about not being able to get in. I could see your comments, everyone, but I couldn't. You couldn't see my picture, and it wasn't letting me delete the old feed to re-put up another feed. So it's done it now.
Sorry, my sweetness, I've been late.
Oh, she has arrived. She has arrived eventually. Eventually, she says he had nothing on special, so she wasn't going to get me any whiskey. She's been really playing me up this evening. So I've got whiskey now. Everything's back on track. We can crack on. We can crack on. Yeah, only a waterworks. So any questions? Any questions about dog training tonight? No questions about dog training. What about anything else you'd like to talk about? No? Okay. That's that finished then. Did you watch my delivery video? Was this, when did you put this up, Adam? Is this the latest one or the older one? Is this the older one that I said you're making too much of it? Or is it a latest one? Have you put up something recently? I haven't seen anything since you commented on Facebook. Yeah, so you know I've seen it then, don't you? Come on then, help me out here. Mine want to train, but I've just stopped them because it's too hot. It's exactly that's it, Denver. It's just so hot, and the problem is out there. You see people walking dogs in this weather, don't you? It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They're just not doing the dogs any harm. It's just doing them harm, isn't it? That's the problem. It's just too hot. Do you know what? That's thrown me taking half an hour to get in here and it being live and then not being able to do nothing about it. I've lost all my thought pattern of what I was going to talk about tonight. That's unusual, isn't it, Chris? No, what it is, we went to a Greek restaurant and we had a litre and a half of wine. We had the food, and then because we're regulars, they came across with some extras for us, and the drinks was quite strong. Luckily, my daughter's driving at the moment, so she drove us home. And so yesterday was 37 here and saw people walking their dogs midday. Crazy. Definitely. I was going to buy a jacuzzi. And because of my knees, because of the accident, I thought, I'm going to purchase a jacuzzi and set it up in the garden. And be able to go out there in the afternoon, getting older now, and just relax, especially on days like today. So we went down to the jacuzzi shop and we started talking jacuzzis and how much it costs to run and how much maintenance you've got to do. Has anybody got a jacuzzi out there? Has anybody actually got a jacuzzi? Oh, it's a hot tub, not a jacuzzi, Sue said. It is a jacuzzi. Jacuzzi is a freaking hot tub, isn't it? She's trying to throw me now, see? She's been drinking and she's in the background trying to throw me. Jacuzzi, hot tub, whatever you want to call it. Now, the thing is, you've seen me in my bath, haven't you? You've seen me where I just throw cold water in my bath, get in it on a hot summer's day and relax. It's ideal for me. It's ideal for my dogs. But no, wanted to go down the jacuzzi road. So he goes to the jacuzzi shop. Honestly, it's like the French Inquisition. You'll get Legionnaire's disease if you don't clean it regular with these tablets and this stuff and these filters and all this. I'm thinking, do I want this shit? You know, $7 for a jacuzzi. I found everyone. Good evening, Steve. You've not been wandering around in the wilderness like everybody else. So I've been put off a jacuzzi. My neighbour's got one, singing and dancing, and cost him £35 to £40 a month and a lot of maintenance. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Me too. What, got a jacuzzi, Sol? So anyway, Sue said, I'm not sharing the jacuzzi with no customers. I said, not even Sol? You wouldn't share the jacuzzi with Sol? She said, I do not want a swingers party in my jacuzzi. I said, I don't know if Sol's into swinging, or Christopher, or Steve Pace. I know Simon Spruce isn't. Adam Hudson would be stirring the shit. Anyway, this salesman put me off. He reckons that all the dry skin and all the crap that goes into a jacuzzi, and if you haven't got your water right, you can get Legionnaire's disease. Well, that was it, wasn't it? That was it, Legionnaire. I thought, I don't want to join the army. I don't want to join the frigging army. So I think I'll stick to my bath that I can fill up with a hose pipe, get in it, cool my legs off, give the dogs a swim as well. Peter Piper's in the house. They actually found us. Look, people are finding us now. We've got 20 people in the house. I think this is the least we've ever had. Hey, poor old Robert Elaine. I bet he's been looking, thinking, I got to go in tonight and see what he's going to talk about. And he couldn't get in. I bet he was shitting himself, wasn't he, eh? I bet he was shitting himself. I bet he was thinking, oh no, what are they saying about me? They've closed me out. Exactly, Steve. Think of the electric going up in October. I thought to myself, it's cost us £100 a month on top just to have a freaking farting bubbles. Simon Spruce, I don't know what that means. You've got me on that one, Simon Spruce, but I have to put it up. Yeah, deep shit. Evening, everyone. Been struggling to get in. Yeah, I've been struggling to see all of you. I'd be in then. Yeah, freaking sure you would, Adam. Honestly, you'd be cocking your leg over, wouldn't you, Adam? Eh? It would look like a swingers party. There'd be people freaking writing on the internet. Upton's having swinging parties. All right, I'm with you now. Yeah. Filthy freaking things. I've had friends ask me for around for a sit-in. I'm just thinking, I'm not sure the bath since the age of 6. So I'm on the same wavelength there, mate. I go around my daughter. She's got one, and they've got one, and there's no way I'm getting in it. They got kids as well. They may piss in it. She tells them if you piss in it, it turns blue. And honestly, I mean, as I'm getting older, I just don't want to share human skin with a stranger. I will have to bring my wife. Stop it, Steve. Stop it. Yeah, what we could do, we could just put the jacuzzi on, let the girls go in there, and we could go off training, couldn't we? Great excuse. Yeah, so it put me off. I was all for the idea of buying a jacuzzi, sitting back, relaxing, having bubbles, getting my legs fixed in the jacuzzi, and then looking down in it, seeing about the expense of it. Although it's part of the package. That's it. It can be part of the package. This is Adam. I didn't want to say too much, but your leg would rust in the jacuzzi. You'd have to flip it off, wouldn't you? Like Simon Spruce. I'll bring the wife, not mine. Yep, that's the idea, wasn't it? Eh? Imagine that. Eh? Imagine seeing me in a jacuzzi. It'd be like a beach whale, wouldn't it? It'd be like flubber, not flabber, flipper, whatever you call it. Anyway, we have 20 people in the house. Does anybody want to talk about dogs tonight? Because, like I say, I've lost my concentration. I was like getting a little bit cheesy, a little bit teasy, not being able to get in, not being able to cancel the last live, swearing like a trooper and thinking, I wonder if people are hearing this.
Never actually noticed.
Sorry?
She's and I never actually noticed when we walked through the door and you went. Argh!
She's. I tell you what, everyone. She's had too much to drink tonight. So they give us. Honestly, it tastes. You know that hand gel that you put on your hands to sterilize your hands. The drink they gave us. Does anyone know what it's called in a Greek restaurant? Don't say limoncello. That's Italian. Anybody know what it is? It's like lighter fuel. Jesus Christ! You don't want too many of them. Come on, there must be someone out there who's got a bit of Greek in them. Bit of Greek. Ouzo. No, what ouzo? Ouzo. Ouzo's red wine, isn't it? I don't know. Is it ouzo? Maybe. You may be right, guys. It was white stuff. It was like lighter fluid. It was like, have some of that, Chris, he said. He said, don't want too many of them, a bit strong. But luckily, we weren't driving, so we're not going to turn down a drink, me and Sue, are we? Don't be silly. But I tell you what, I'm glad she didn't light a freaking match. Jet fuel. It was Peter Piper. It was because we'd had the wine and we'd had the Zambuca. That's it. Zambuca? No, it's not Zambuca. It's white. It's white fluid, liquid. It's in a glass about that big, a bit like when you have limoncello, but it's white. And it was a Greek restaurant. Lighter fuel. Sue went and then freaking dragged the rest of it.
No, I didn't. I just licked the glass in.
Maybe ouzo then is a Greek spirit and it's clear like water. Yeah, that may be it. Meth, says Steve. Yeah, meth. I reckon.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, like I say, when I went out, I pressed the hand sanitizer and it smelled exactly the same as that. I just thought that's what they're doing. Hot tub water. Yeah, don't swallow the hot tub water. That's the thing. So I think the hot tubs have gone out the window. So if anyone wants to come here and stay in the horse box or stay in the caravan, you can use the bath because we can strip the water out as soon as you've left and deflea it. Paint stripper, says Frank Casey. Ouzo mixed with water goes white. Oh no, this was just a spirit. But I think he's given stuff before, but I never had that before. And he said this is very, very strong. And then Sue started talking like Robert De Niro in what was that film called? Where he went down the rapids and he went under the water and he banged his head and come up going. That's what Sue was talking like, and she's not recovered since. But she did go down Tesco's because I had no whiskey, knowing that I needed a whiskey, and she got me a whiskey. She's a good girl, isn't she?
Only because it was on special.
But it's amazing. Cape Fear, that was it. Simon Spruce, yeah, sorry. It was amazing because you know that little tiny drink that we had, that little tiny drink. I was going to pay for the meal tonight, and it was over £100 for 3 of us, and I was going to pay for the meal tonight. And I said, let's toss a coin for it. So we tossed a coin. Sue won, and she paid for the meal. She hasn't worked that one out yet.
Because I'm nice and you're tight.
She's nice and I'm tight. Disgraceful language. Absolutely disgraceful language. Anyway, who would like to talk about dog training, or who would like to talk about anything else? Anything else tonight? We've only got 21. What about the state of the government? Did anybody watch Boris Johnson's final speech in the Parliament? Astrodovic, baby, what did he say? He was funny as hell, absolutely funny as hell. I don't know if anyone, you probably all working, not like me. I managed to sit down and watch Prime Minister's Question Time, and it was his last one, and it was funny. It was funny. And who have we got now? We're down to 2, aren't we? We're down to 2. It's never going to be the same, is it? Love him or hate him, he was definitely a character, Boris, wasn't he? He's definitely a character. Do you know what? Tonight's quite boring. I'm surprised you're all here. There's 20 of you here. How many dogs have you got at the moment, Chris? And how is Ninja getting on? Freaking Ninja has had 2 lots of water over her, but do not tell Robert Elaine. Do not tell Robert Elaine that she's been 2 lots of water over today to say calm the bloody hell down. I think it's the sun. I think they're out there playing. It's got to their heads. I just do not want dogs barking, and she's been barking. Only play fighting. And then when I've gone out there and thrown water over because she misses me and she wants to go out with me, she's then howling. Honestly, these bloody dogs. Honestly, I just think I need to find out from Robert Elaine what I need to do to stop it. Oh, freaking hell! Thank Christ for that, Denver. Okay, dog question. My 2 Springers have been raised together and never had a problem. Now, every now and again, they stare at each other, say each other out, and go stiff. They go stiff. That's a new one on me, Denver. That's a new one. That's a new one. I can't help you on that, Denver. I mean, do you know I'm the first one to put my hand up and say if I'd seen that before. I don't know. I excuse me. I just don't know. You've beat me, Denver, tonight. You've beat me on that one. Anybody had that before? I know dogs have a stare at each other, but they go stiff. Is that what he said? Dominance kicking in. And if I don't split them, they fight. Oh, Denver. Denver, honestly, dogs don't fight. Do they fight, Denver, or do they just face each other off? I'll tell you what I did do. On my Facebook page, I didn't put it on Corleone Talk, and I didn't put it on Patreon. On my Facebook page, there is a video that's really, really interesting with, shall I tell you? Honestly, I think that freaking stuff I drank was paint stripper. I think it's gone to my brain. Let me just tell you, really, really enjoyed it. And I've not enjoyed some of his stuff lately as much. Jordan Peterson. I'm just bringing up my page. I don't know what's going on today. I don't know what's going on today. You'll have to bear with me. I'm not doing too well. Would someone else like to take over tonight and make life easier for me? Perhaps the sun's gone to my head. Yeah, anyway, I put it up on my Facebook page. I can't even find my Facebook page at the moment. Hang on, we're there. Yeah, it's the biology of good and evil. Franz de Waal and Dr. Jordan Peterson. Really, really interesting about dominance and about they're talking about the internet. They're talking about animal behavior and human behavior, animal behavior, all the sort of thing. And they're talking about the internet, and they were talking about the things that people do to each other on the internet. You'd never do it to somebody's face because you'd get smacked. This is coming from Jordan Peterson and the doctor. So it just shows the animalistic nature of the beast, isn't it? And they were talking about dominance theory, and they were talking about chimpanzees and the hierarchy, and they were talking about gorillas. I find it absolutely fascinating because I love the psychology behind it. And I've got to be very careful what I say because some things come to the top of my head and I want to say it. And then it's going to offend somebody on the internet, isn't it? They're going to take offense. They're going to take offense in what I'm talking about. So are we going down that road of everybody's too scared to say what they want to say in case somebody gets triggered? Somebody gets triggered. I've just done a video, and I'm not scared to put it up, but I think if I put it up, are people going to see it the way I see it? Because being dyslexic, perhaps people see things differently than I see them. And I think in today's society, I think everybody has a right of opinion. I think if you put yourself on the internet and people don't like what you do, they have every right to criticize it, agree with it, or disagree with it. Simple as that. But they don't have a right to lie and slander. And that's the problem with the internet. It's like the wild, wild west, isn't it? You get some people just go on there and say whatever they want. And that Robert Elaine is a fine example of that, isn't it? The shit he comes out with, and yet I've proved him wrong. And yet a decent person would go, I was misled, took the video down, end of, or sorry. Some people can't say sorry, but sorry. But no, it's not going to happen like that, is it? It's the fact that he's let it become personal. He's let it become personal. So everything I think of inside my head, I've got to be very careful I don't put it up. Sorry, Denver's talking there. Sorry. Never draw a brush, just a clash. There you go. But can call them away still at this stage. Peter Piper, Denver, are they not just trying to sort out their pecking order? Could you cause sorted my younger ones term one? Could be told them I'm going to get a listen, Denver. If I tell you what to do, this is going to get videoed. It's going to get shared all over the internet. And they're going to make me out to be so cruel. It's unbelievable. Get a bonk down. And as they stare at each other, let them stare. And as they start to have a growl at each other, or they stiffen up, just lob the bonk towel right in the middle and break up the fight. That way, you don't get involved in the fight. They'll turn tail and they'll go back to what they were doing and go, oh, that's not worth doing that. There's a consequence for that behavior. And that's the problem with society these days. You do not leave unwanted behaviors to manifest. I don't care if the dogs reach 1. I don't care if the dogs reach 5. If the dog starts fighting with another dog, I step in. I don't go, oh, it's a pecking order. They've got to get on with it. They've got to do it. If you've had 2 dogs in your house and they're beginning to test each other, I step in as the pack leader and go, hey, pack this in. And if you watch that video that's on my Facebook page and you watch what it's about and how they're telling you that in the wild, because you can't go to the doctors and get meds, you can't get antibiotics for the cuts and the bites, you die. Nature's way of saying, you silly people or silly animals. But if you think about it, everybody says that controlling apes, chimpanzees, they're vicious. They can be vicious and nasty. Oh, hang on. Where did we come from? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. Science says we came from apes, didn't it? Well, I didn't. Generations of my family did not come through apes. No. I mean, I still think we've got people out there swinging on trees. I still think we got people, very close to the sort of. You've got to be so careful here, Chris, because someone may listen to this and think you're talking about them when I'm actually not. So I've just got to be a little bit careful. How would you build confidence in my dog? In what way, Kevin? Why do you think your dog's not very much confidence? Thank God someone's going to ask me a question about dog training, evolution, or the Big Bang, Denver. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole lot of bollocks about a dog is a teenager, so give it slack, which I think is bollocks. So do I. So do I. You just want to stop unwanted behavior. It's simple as that. And if you use a punisher, it works. Guess what? The shock of the bonk towel splitting the dogs up, coming between the 2 dogs, it's not going to hurt them, but it's going to make them jump back and go, bloody hell, what was that? You'll change the mindset. That's what you want to do. Change the mindset in an instant. You don't get in there. You don't separate them. You don't get involved. And at the end of the day, that bonk towel, and I mean throw it in hard. Guess what? If you think that's going to hurt your dog, take the bonk towel and smash yourself over the head with it and see how many times you can do damage to your head. If you've got glasses on, I suggest you take them off. But trust me, it's the startle moment that the dog gets and the dog goes, bloody hell, that'll stop. It's the same as going in there and giving a dog a short, sharp blast. Not into the dog, but towards the dog with a jet spray. They jump back. They stop barking. They stop messing around. They get the message. Like that, so. So you're not an advocate for the finger up the arse then, Chris? Not with children. I mean in dog training. Hey, it can split up a fight. So honestly, I don't know where you come out with stuff. I've never heard of that. It's a doctor thing. Hey, I went to the doctors today, everyone. I went to the clinic. I won't tell you what for. Oh, I better tell you what for now. You'll think it was gonorrhea. Have you seen the husky sheep killer? No, I haven't. Have you tried it, so says Denver. Stop it, Denver. He does it regular, Denver. That's why he mentions it. The problem is he's a doctor. He don't wash his hands. He don't have to use gloves. I put gloves on. Kevin Rule asked a question. When he's working a situation, he won't retrieve because the other dog's around him. So Kevin says, how would you build confidence in my dog? And then Kevin said, and I asked him why, and he says, when he's working in a working situation, he won't retrieve because other dogs are around him. Do you mean he won't retrieve birds in a working situation, or he won't retrieve dummies? So when you've got dogs around you, Kevin, why don't you stand away from him, as simple as that to begin with, and then just move it closer as soon as he builds the confidence? You saw the video of Chris Fraser with the bloke said the way to separate a dog fight. Yeah, that was Sean O'Shea. That was Sean O'Shea. Yeah, put a finger. Do you know what? I've actually heard that before, I've heard professional people say it does work. I'm going to be too busy doing other things. Trust me. Dummies. Kevin wrote dummies. Well, I don't think it's an easy question, Kevin, because I'd have to perhaps see the dog. And I'm not trying to make excuses here, but it's not quite as easy just guessing without seeing the situation. Is the dog mad keen on dummies? But because not being funny, if you've got a dog absolutely mad keen on dummies, you could throw that dummy in front of other dogs and the dog's going to race out there. Is the dog wary of other dogs in normal situation without dummies? I thought that only happened at swingers parties, says Steve Pace. Yeah. And that's why he's not getting in my bloody jacuzzi. And he'll say, Chris, I only slipped. Sorry. Yeah. So going back to your question, Kevin, love to answer your question. It's quite difficult. It's quite difficult. It would be like I'm just batting blind here, to be honest with you. There could be a number of situations when you say your dog's nervous. Is it nervous on a regular basis? But the dummies, it just hasn't got the desire. We build the desire to go out there, and the desire that they've got. I've never had a dog yet that wouldn't go out and pick a dummy, racing out, racing back, and not worrying about what's there. Get a video up, Kev. That's how we do it. Yeah, that's the way. And if you could get a video up, Kev, especially if you're on Patreon, he loves the dummies in a normal situation, but when he goes training, he freezes. Yeah, I'd have to see a little bit more, Kev, to give you an honest appraisal of what I think. Perhaps you could video it, video the dog retrieving without any dogs there, and then put the dog in the situation and show me. Yeah, Sue says, how old? Gary Marriott says, join Patreon and put up some videos and you'll get loads of help. There you go. Well done. You beat me to it, so, says Steve. Look at this, honestly. Do you know what? Who needs salesmen when you got you guys around, eh? You know how to do it, don't you? They're on the boil here. Do you know what? I really apologize tonight. I'm just waffling. I got 20 people in the house, 32 minutes gone. I don't even know what I've talked about. I don't know what they put in that freaking drink in that restaurant. I'm not having that rocket fuel again. I'm not having that. It wasn't even tasty. It was like methylated spirits.
It was like cough medicine that you just get down quick, wasn't it?
But I did have a lovely meal. Yeah, so it's funny, because me and Sol were talking the other day, and a lot of you know what's happened to me, and I don't want to say too much on here because I just don't. It's not for everybody, and a lot of you on here know the situation. And I've been to see a specialist today, and all the questions I asked was completely different to what other specialists had told me, and other doctors had told me, and it's funny, isn't it? It's a bit like dog training. Everybody's got an opinion. I just thought it was simple. So I goes to this thing today, and there goes, oh no, we're not here to check whether you've got clogged arteries or anything like that. We're here to check whether your valves are working. So I drop my pants, drop my underpants. She says, no, not that valve. And I was out within 5 minutes when I see.
Yeah.
I was out within 5 minutes. I said, any information? She says, no. I said, you wouldn't send me home if I was dying, though, would you? And she said, no, we'd keep you in if you were dying. So that's got to be good news, isn't it? Or are we not all dying?
We are.
Anyway, they did say on the Patreon live feed it got a bit emotional last week, didn't it? Always look on the bright side of life. There you go, Gary Marriott. Kevin, as Adam says, we have people all around the country can help you. And people who train dogs to a good standard. That's the difference. Have achieved a good standard. And that's the difference. My latest video for Dear Robert is about to go up. Right? I did it today. And we had a long chat about client of his that was going to Chris Frey's for a training seminar. And she used to talk to me in private all the time about how fantastic my videos were and how much I've helped them, and how the dog training world's not fair to her because she joined a scheme to become a professional dog trainer, and because she uses discipline, they won't give her the award that she deserves, that she's paid a lot of money for it. And this went on and on and on for weeks in private on my messenger. And Robert got involved, saying, I hear you've been rubbishing my clients. I said, I've not been rubbishing your clients, I've been giving them advice. I said, but I didn't go on the internet, World Wide Web internet, and gave them advice. It was in Messenger. They come to me. I didn't go to them. I didn't say, oh, by the way, you can't train a dog to save your life. I actually said, they came to me. I love Robert's videos that he's done. You're going to love this latest one. You're going to love this latest one. I'll show you what Robert does for a living, shall I? Let me show you what Robert does for a living, because the one thing that Chris Upton does before he runs his big mouth off, and I do run my big mouth off on a regular basis, don't I? You do know that, everyone, don't you? I do speak my mind.
You could actually give a squirrel skin if they get away, because you won't lose the squirrel skin.
If they get what?
I said you could actually say whoever gets it can have the squirrel skin, but they never get it.
Okay, then let's have a bit of competition. A free squirrel skin and a Corleone mug. A free squirrel skin and a Corleone mug. There's 28 of you in here. Somebody could be going home with a classic. I think I should give Gary a fucking Robert chats shit for a living. Anyway, so he's bound to be watching, and he's bound to be a bit gutted that we didn't really mention him. So come on. So let's give away a free squirrel skin and a mug. Posted. Is that one that shows dog gets it? A tick, Adam. It's a joke.
No, because he asked serious dog question. What
So,
do you think about the Kennel Club working Gundog certificate?
Who said that?
Adam.
Serious question. What do you think about the Kennel Club working Gundog certificate?
Enough said.
An organ grinder's monkey could get it. It's not difficult. Peter Piper. Peter Piper. He comes up with classics. Fuck all, he's on the dole. Stop it, you lot.
He's a professional smarty pants. Yeah.
Honestly, if you're going to be dropping his freaking ego in a minute. So I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to show you something. And this is my latest video that I've done. And this is not what the question is for the mug and the squirrel skin. I'm going to ask you, and the first person who can tell me tonight, not Google it, not search for it. Robert Elaine is on Twitter. My latest video is a freaking classic. I will put it up tomorrow just for a laugh. So Robert Elaine is on Twitter. Now, if you look on the internet, Robert Elaine is on everything. He has a number of YouTube pages. People who go on Twitter, YouTube, freaking watch chat and all this crap. I just don't understand it, right? And it says here, I'm going to read it out to you, but it's here. It's right in front of me, look. Right in front of me. So this is Robert Elaine's tweet. Can we say tweet? He's got a dog in a coat, a bandana, and it says, you tell me, what does it say? I've been robbed. You freaking have. If you're going to him for training, Steve Pace, he's got to be able to charge £500. Good evening, everyone. Ben's in the house. So it says he's got a dog in a bandana. It says, I've been robbed. That's the most honest thing I've heard about Robert Elaine in the last 12 months. Now, this is Robert Elaine's own words. I am best known for appearing on the BB series Dog Borstal. I'm the nice one. He. Check out my book, The Trouble-Free Dog, The Trouble-Free Dog, the best book ever written. Call me a liar. Call me a freaking liar. Can you see that? Can you see that? The best book ever written. Talk about self-freaking promotion. So here we go. Julian Lees is in the house. We're going to give away a squirrel skin and a Corleone mug.
There's only one person won it so far.
We want the right answer. And this is the question. 31 people in the house. What does Robert do as a sideline?
You have 10 seconds.
You have 1 minute. Julian.
60 seconds.
60 seconds. Could you count them down, please? I'm just not giving away a squirrel skin and a mug for nothing.
Well, freaking hell, they'll be on the film one then. Steve, honestly. Ben.
Come on, you lot. Drag queen. Stop it. Stop talking about your sexuality. He may get triggered. Rent boy, stop it. Throws parts, brain surgeon, throws body parts off his balcony. Honestly, if he's watching, he's going to be suicidal.
He should be laughing, but then he hasn't got a sense of humour.
I ain't got a sense of humour. Anyway, come on. I think bull tickler. I think I'm safe here because
I did tell you. If anybody gets it, they've cheated.
I do my own work, everybody. I do my own work. I do my own work. I am a stubborn, not vindictive, but if you go after me and you tell lies about me, you have every right to disagree with my method of training, and I'll debate with you anytime you like. And especially if you think you're a superstar, bring it on. Bring it on. Security. Animal farewell officer.
Actually, his profile picture.
Animal farewell officer as he throws it over the balcony. Farewell. Bye. Oh, it's just hit a child in a pushchair. That doesn't matter. At least it stopped the dog. No. No. What do you think he does? Does he have any fan page? So here we go then. So I don't think anyone's won it, Sue, have we?
No.
We're safe.
I knew you were safe.
We're safe. Here we go. Can you see it? Can you see it? He runs quiz nights. I thought he was on Patreon. Look at the freaking smile on that face.
Look at that. Steve Pace came up with Quizmaster.
Quizmaster Stevie. It was just too late.
Too late,
Stevie. You were so close. Quizmaster. Could you believe it? Could you believe it? Now, the question I want to ask you.
He ain't no mastermind, though, is he?
Peter Piper, I was right. He's a wanker. The question I want to ask you is, does anybody speak Swahili? Not Swahili. Anyway, I was right. Con man, yeah. Charity worker, he calls himself. Charity worker. Okay. I want you to look at the top of here, look, and tell me what language that is in. Look, it says Robert Lane, Quizmaster. What language is that at the top? Is it Spanish? Come on, you should tell me, some of you guys. Honestly, I can't tell you. It got me on this one. He speaks bullshit. Here, tell me about that. So, is he doing it in Spain? What does that at the top mean? Come on, everyone. Come on, someone must speak this language. Can you see that? I know it's quiz night, Michael. It's quiz night with Robert. My latest video is a quiz night with Robert, and you're gonna find it very funny. Anyway, Robert, quiz night. Yeah, I know it's quiz night, but what does it say on? Why has he got it in foreign language? Is he popping across to another country to do it? Spanish? Is it Spanish, Denver? Is it? I'm not sure.
Paste it into Google Translate.
Paste it into Google and translate. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Quizmaster, Robert. Is it Robert Elaine? Charity quiz nights. Charity commissions. I think we're going to the next level of it. It's a worldwide phenomenon. Exactly. Badly photographed poster. Exactly. So the whole point of it is I do my homework before saying what I feel. He speaks 2 languages. Like that. He speaks 2 languages, English and utter shite. Stop it. Honestly, you've cheered me night up now, you lot. Anyway, my latest video, you may laugh, you may cry, you may think, what the frig's he on about? But listen, if you join an organization, an affiliation, is that the right word? Am I getting that right? I wasn't having a stroke then. It's the screen changed color for some reason. I think the lighting in here is going. If you change groups now, perhaps it's good to be on as many dog groups and forums as you can to promote yourself. But the thing is, I've been checking him out because I do my own work. Now, we know that when he went on the Chris Fray's show and he did a live, he threw his toys out of the pram, didn't he? He threw his toys out of the pram and made him look very, very immature, didn't he? And the incident about the dog over the balcony, he was so embarrassed he took it out on me. Well, it turns out here that he's a company director, but he resigned from both of them. Look, it says resigned. I wonder if it's because he fed so much bullshit to them and they read right through him. I mean, he's paid his own charity. He's still looking for his rattle. Yes, he is, definitely. No wonder the dogs don't understand. He got found out on Chris Fray's live feed. He did, Gary. He did, didn't he? And that's what pissed him off. And what happened? He said to me, I thought we were friends. Well, I'm friends with a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. We talk for hours on end. And he said to me, listen, I'm only going by one video that I saw you grab a dog by the ears. And I said, I didn't grab the dog by the ears. Yeah, but that's not the way to train. And I could show you better. Well, come and show me, Robert. Love you to pop down and show me, because I call anybody out. And at the end of the day, all because I laughed about the situation with the dog on the balcony, I found that hilarious. I found it so pathetic. It was hilarious. It was comedy gold. You couldn't write that shit. You couldn't put a Monty Python sketch together that good. You couldn't if you tried. Oh, I love your parrot. The parrot's dead. What do you mean it's dead? It's a dead parrot. You remember all them sketches, don't you? Monty Python. You know, you have to have a sense of humor, dry bit of wit, but some of it's funny and some of it's scratching your head thinking, well, why is that funny? But it's satire. And I don't think you could have had a better conversation with someone about telling a story, because it's like that fish you caught, but it was freaking 3 times bigger, because you can't prove how big it was, but you can tell that story. And it was like, you know, it was hunting me up and down. It was hunting me, stalking me up and down the balcony. You locked yourself on the balcony, you freaking idiot, with the dog. And then you're hitting it with, and a baseball bat was mentioned. And I'm dyslexic, but if you mention a baseball bat and you mentioned a catch pole, I'm going to get a little bit confused unless I listen back on it. And I did listen back on it, and he said he used the catch pole as a baseball bat. And I thought he went up there like a ninja warrior with a baseball bat down the freaking back of his shirt, a catch pole, hand grenades, freaking poison, and freaking, here comes Robert. I'm going to sort this dog out. Oh, shit. I have to decide what part to give the dog so I can afford to lose a body part but throw it over the balcony. And I'm thinking, you are having a freaking laugh. I am not an expert on aggressive dogs, but there's no way on this earth am I going to offer part of my body to a freaking pit bull that's saying, I don't want to play because you're hitting me on the head with a freaking catch pole, right? Robert Elaine is a Jackanory boy. He loves telling stories. You're dead right. You're dead right, Gary. But the thing is, I'd moved on from that. That was, I think, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. But people hold these feelings, don't they? They hold these grudges. You laughed at me. You didn't stick up for me. I thought you were my friend. You thought I was your friend? We've never met. We talked. I've got so much history on you. But guess what? If you talk to Chris Upton, it's on Messenger. If I put up the stuff that you've talked about...
Aren't you called an acquaintance?
Acquaintance.
Not a friend, you're an acquaintance.
No, not a friend. I might come across too friendly with some people. So Steve reckons that the dog on the balcony was a Shih Tzu. I reckon the dog on the balcony was a bit of a Shih Tzu. Sue, the dog on the balcony was a bit of a Shih Tzu. But there's no way. I hope Mrs. Corleone is well. Yeah, she's doing very well, Jules. We took her out tonight and we treated her. We took her out and treated her. I took my daughter out and treated her as well. That's for rescuing me. Do you know I've been on day release today, everyone? Been on day release. I was allowed to leave the yard. Yeah, so I want to know, well, I do know because I've looked into it. Now, if you're a member of these affiliated dog organizations, there's a certain set of rules you need to adhere to, a code of good practice. Now, the Good Citizen Scheme. People ask me, is a Good Citizen Scheme. I was all for it. When we were into the Gundog clubs and I was on the committees, we had a vote, and I can't tell you too much because what happens at committee is supposed to stay behind committee. But I can tell you this: I won't tell you what committee. But I was on a committee, and the question came up: should we be regulated by the Kennel Club and told how we should train dogs? As they are trying to push us down that route. And I said, I don't want to be told by the Kennel Club how I should train a dog. It's nothing to do with the Kennel Club how I should train a dog. But if you join the Good Citizen Scheme, you're affiliated that you're only allowed to use positive methods only. And I said, well, I won't be joining the Good Citizen Scheme if that's the case. Because sometimes in life I have to step up and give a correction for a dog, and it's not positive. Right? Get a positive result, but it's not positive. Now, in them days, they weren't talking about positive, negative, and all the 4 quadrants and all that. We're talking about 20 years ago. But I didn't want to be dictated to by a bunch of knobs, to be honest with you, in the Kennel Club who think they're above everybody else, dictating what I should do and how I should train. And I don't want to lie to people, as simple as that. I don't want to have to mislead people and go, well, hang on, come to me, but don't tell anyone, and we'll put this on the dog, or we'll do this to the dog. But you can't show anyone because we'll be in trouble if you do that. I think we should be transparent and we should be upfront and we should be able to stand up for what we believe in.
That only happens when you go to positive only training.
So the route that the Kennel Club are trying to take you down. So I went to a training seminar. I knew she'd interrupt. I knew she'd be in the background interrupting. I knew she'd try and throw me off me. I was just beginning to get on my spiel, wasn't I then? And that's it. She'd ruined it. Now, yeah. Yeah, we've had him here. Anyway, so on that note, I went to a training debate, and there were a load of, I'm sorry to say it, I'm not being sexist, there were a majority of people in the room were 18 to 20 stone women that had clipboards, and they run church all freaking training classes. And I thought, what am I doing here? And they had an ex-police officer on the stage giving a demonstration about saying you should never pick a dog up. You should never pick a puppy up. That's why dogs have 4 feet. They should be on the 4. They should never pick a dog up. It makes them insecure. It makes them scared of everything. I've never heard such shit in my life. Then he tells me he had this 14-week-old pup and he took it for a 10-mile walk on the lead and he had to put it in his pocket and bring it home. And I'm sitting there thinking, I've just wasted 170 quid for this training seminar that I wanted to learn. Sorry, I was reading what somebody said there. I put my hand up, being Chris Upton, and said, I think I'm wasting my time here. I'm a gun dog trainer, and I thought this was a accredited training instructors examination forum that we were talking about the good citizen scheme. He said, we are, Chris. I said, well, I'm sorry, but I use discipline and I can't get around the fact that I can't lie to people and say that I don't use discipline when I will use discipline. And if your rules say that you can't use discipline, there is no point in me being an accredited training instructor for the Kennel Club. So the field trials secretary of the Kennel Club come over to me and said, listen, Chris, listen. Most of these people are church hall people. They don't want to hear that. We know that you have to do that with gun dogs, but we don't want to promote the fact. I said, well, I won't be joining the group. I'd done a year and a half of building a portfolio and writing essay after essay and collecting evidence of what I've achieved and what the criteria to get the best accreditation that you could. And they said to me, I wasn't allowed to use discipline. They've changed that rule since. That's what they've told me. But at the time, that was the case. My honesty made me walk away from it. Now, why did I think, yes, it was a good idea? Why did I think accredited training instructors was a good idea at the time? I'll tell you why. Because I've seen so much baggage out there, rubbish, trying to train other people with little knowledge. One of my pet hates is, if you've got no understanding, you shouldn't be training nobody. As simple as that. If you haven't trained a dog to a good standard, how dare you step into the ring and start taking money off people, giving them bullshit, feeding them bullshit. The reason that me and Robert Elaine fell out is because of a gun dog trainer that he was promoting, because she goes to him for training and she was going to Chris Fraze for training and she was talking to me as well, and she was nothing but a little shit stirrer running from one to the other. What he said, what she said, what he said, what she said. I could not stand the woman, or her pathetic little laugh and her desire to want to be a dog trainer, a gun dog trainer. Now she's changed her name, and I don't want to throw her under the bus really, so I'm not going to mention her on here, but she's changed her name from gun dog trainer with advice from me. And I thought, great, I don't need to talk to you. You're not a gun dog trainer. You're a pet trainer now. Stick to what Robert does and go off with Robert. Chris Fraze was absolutely honest about it, and she left Chris Fraze for his honesty. Couldn't train a dog to save her life, her and her husband, but got the gift of the gab and this silly womanish laugh that would freaking haunt you for the rest of your life if you listen to it. But at the end of the day, what she does in life is up to her. Off you toddle. Don't come into my life bitching about this person, bitching about that person, telling me that person won't let you be accredited, although you've paid them thousands of pounds because of this or that. Go away. I didn't contact her. She contacted me. So I cut her out of my life very quickly because I realized she was baggage. And when people become baggage, the best thing you can do is just cut them out of your life. It's as simple as that. And this is the problem. Now, Robert Elaine deals with mainly women. So why has he gone down the road of saying Chris Upton is abusive towards women and hates women? Because he's going to get the followers and he go, Robert, you're fantastic. You've stuck up for us. No, we saw the video on YouTube about throwing the tampon. Did you see the tampon dummy for women? Did you see that?
Well,
Did you? Come on, you must have seen it. Tell me, or is it my head going funny? Did you not watch the video about, for poor women dummy throwers, use the tampon? Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't write that. I didn't write it. I just shared it. I shared it. And then she showed a dummy with the rope on and said, this has been designed for women. It's not been designed for women. Dummies have had freaking ropes on them for years. But it's how they're portraying it, isn't it? It's how they're selling themselves out there. Today's modern dog training is about selling yourself. Now, they asked the question the other day and said, well, why did you talk about, vibrators, flashing vibrators? Because all the gear, no idea.
Yeah, but Steve Pace asked
you,
can you ask you to start making some of those tampon squirrel dummies, please?
No,
there you go, Joe.
No, don't, Steve, stop it. He'll have women follow. He'll be like the Pied Piper. He'll have women following him. If he put a flashing, vibrating squirrel on the market with a freaking string on the end of it,
he'd be a millionaire.
He'd be a millionaire, wouldn't he? Hey, you think what you could do with that? And that's exactly why my latest video shows that thing when we did that spoof. When I did that spoof about the magic remote control that could train your dog.
Like,
remember that 2.8 million views, and I had to take it down because people were actually believing the bullshit. I put it up for one reason, because I'd seen so much bullshit out there about dog training, and buy this Holty lead and buy this and buy that. This is the new wonder drug. It's the porn channel I've stumbled on. Spider-Man. Bit late, but good evening all. That's all you need in it, Spider-Man. A bit of porn. There's nothing wrong with a bit of porn. Stop it, you lot. You're just a filthy bunch of bastards. And so you get Chris Upton highlighting the fact that someone on the internet put up the tampon dummy for women. That's about right, isn't it? I'm only highlighting what's on the internet. Yeah, I didn't freaking force it down her throat. The tampon, no. The video, I never edited it. It was put up in its entirety. And then I got to sit through this and watch it. I've got to sit through it and watch it. My next video is going to be, come and buy this vibrating dummy. You'll never lose it in cover, because not only does it vibrate, it hovers 4 foot off the floor after 10 minutes of you not finding it. Honestly, you and me, Jules, we could, you, me, and Ray, we could wipe up the market, Jules. We could be famous.
Yeah.
The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, but as Devil said to Rodney, next year we're going to be millionaires.
Yeah, next year we're going to be millionaires. How about that? Anyway, so pure filth. Honestly, Spider-Man. Honestly, you're getting into it, aren't you? You get excited too easy, Spider-Man. You want to come on here a bit more regularly. You might calm down. Pure filth. He's loving it. Look. Steve Pace. I'm surprised that the woman didn't kick off about that video. Do you know the whole point of it is she's a food-based trainer? I actually promoted her, didn't I? But where did I put it? I put it up in Patreon because I don't want backlash. I don't go after everybody who has a bitch about me. It's as simple as that. What's the point? Life's too short. Enjoy life. Yeah, a small GPS mode in the squirrel, Jules. Never lose it again. This is it. But the thing of it, Jules, think of it this way. Stop freaking using grey squirrels and start using some red ones. They stand out far better. Don't say that. Bloody grey ones are tree rats. Red ones are precious. I love the little red squirrel, don't you? Don't you just love that little red squirrel? I think it's lovely, isn't it? Anyway, on that note, before Spider-Man gets too excited, he's missed out on a good night tonight, isn't he? Pure filth, he says. Look, he's really loving it. Honestly, whatever rocks your boat, Spider-Man. Tight suits, a gimp mask, 23 people in the house and 10 thumbs up. I've really struggled tonight. I apologize tonight. I've really struggled. I've only just come alive. The last 10 minutes. As soon as you start talking about sex, that's it for me. I just love it. I think sex, dog training. Who's seen the new Elvis film? come on, who's seen this new Elvis film? Has anybody seen this new Elvis film before we go? I really want to watch it. Did you see what Camilla Presley and Piers Morgan was talking about? Priscilla Presley was talking about, they accused Elvis of being racist. Elvis being racist. And she said, no, Elvis wasn't racist. He used to have Sammy Davis Jr. into his changing room, and he used to go and see, was it Fats Domino? Or, yeah, I think Fats Domino, wasn't it? He's not racist. It's amazing how they try to rip anybody for anything they say these days. Oh, he said this, he's racist. He said that, he's racist. At the end of the day, I was told that film's an excellent film. Who went to see Top Gun? Did anyone go to see Top Gun? Come on, you must have told me. Is it just me? Or is it you've got too much time on your hands, you lot? I've been watching your Vicious. I've been watching Spider-Man. Don't call me vicious. For years, Chris. On a serious note, there's no one can touch you in the training world. All the best, mate. Thank you very much indeed, Spider-Man. I don't know if that's the case. I think there's dog trainers out there better than me. I think there's dog trainers out there that train dogs and been more successful than me. But I don't think there's been many dog trainers out there as open as me. And I stand by what I do. Simple as that. Because I think that the amount of people I've helped in the dog training world, whether you've come over to Patreon or whether you've not, whether you've watched the videos for a number of years, I think I've done a service for the dog training world, the gun dog world. And I think that I'm more well known than some of those famous trainers who've done really well and been successful and good trainers. Trainers are good dogs. Yeah, some people don't need to get out on the internet and sell themselves. But I didn't need to use to go out on the internet and sell myself because I had enough client base until idiots come along to try and make a name for themselves by rubbishing me. And then that's where you see a little bit more of Chris Upton and the true side of Chris Upton. And I think that I hope I'm acting in the right direction and I'm dealing with it in a video type error. Spot on. Totally agree. Thank you very much, Spider-Man. I love having a laugh with people on the live feeds. I think I've got to be approachable, and anybody who's come here knows that I'm approachable. It's amazing that people have got an opinion when they've never been here, isn't it? Isn't that funny, everybody? Isn't it funny the amount of people who've never seen me train or never witnessed training with me have got an opinion on the hearsay of other people? So are they putting up the videos of the reality of it? I think your videos, for good or bad, show it how it is. Exactly. So that's it. That's the whole point. I think that's the important thing. Dog training is not all fairy farts and love and affection, is it? That doesn't mean we don't love our dogs. I was going to say something then, and I thought, no, not tonight, not on here. Good night, Chris. Bollocks. Good crack. Thank you very much indeed, Frank Casey. And I will say that to everybody else. We've been on here for an hour and 8 minutes. I appreciate you turning up tonight. I'm sorry about the half-hour problems where I couldn't get on for some reason, and then I couldn't even cancel it for some reason, so I had to come on in a different direction. I worked it out. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm sorry I've not been on form tonight. I don't know what it is. I think it might be the heat. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. We haven't been in the kitchen tonight. We went out for a meal. So good night all. Chris and Sue signing off. I'm now going to sit down, relax. Oozoo! Bollocks to you all, and take care and good night. Nice to see you in the house, Tracy Dodd. You're so quiet in the background. What a lovely lady. And what a lovely pair of dogs. Chris, you're just creeping to women now. Good night, Denver. I'm sorry I couldn't help you with that one. Just hit it with a freaking bonk towel. Oh, my God, you cruel bastard, Chris. Split him up with a bonk towel. Trust me, one of the best trainers out there with more knowledge and understanding and openness, Gary Wilkes. I don't give a shit what anybody else says in the dog training world. I can listen to that bloke. I can listen to that bloke because he's been there. He's been in there. Rescue homes. He's had to put needles into those dogs and put them down. It ain't a very nice world out there in reality. But sometimes, no, Denver, please don't mention baseball bats or catch bowls, beaten with a baseball bat or a catch bowl. No. We'll leave that to Robert Elaine. Good night, all. Take it easy. Chris Upton and Sue signing off. Good night. How do you switch this off now? There we go. I came alive about the last 10 minutes.